Dun, 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 dun.
And welcome everybody back to Save or Dice. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for going along on this crazy journey with all of us. My name, of course, is Cody with Taking20. We have Dave Friant from Nerdarchy, Andrew Armstrong with DawnforgedCast. We have Jonathan Pruitt with WebDM, and of course our magnificent bastard Jim Davis also with WebDM here. Wow, we are excited about tonight. Before we jump in, we want to talk about a couple of things. First off, we want to thank all of our sponsors, ThinkGeek, for sponsoring the show. You can find a Twitch panel and a link down in the description below if you're watching this later on YouTube. That's an affiliate link, so if you're going to do some shopping over there, you know, we wouldn't mind a couple of click-throughs with that. Our virtual tabletop tonight is Fantasy Grounds. They're the ones that are helping us put this whole thing together. And of course, all the maps that you see on the show are built by Jim Davis with Dungeon Painter Studio by Pyromancers.com. Now, in addition to all of that, we have a amazing, really incredible giveaway. Tonight we're giving away 3 ultimate licenses from Fantasy Grounds with the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition core rulebook along with that to jumpstart you guys into gaming on Fantasy Grounds. If you guys don't know, you can use a single ultimate license and that's it. Everybody can game. If your Dungeon Master has the ultimate license, nobody else has to have a subscription or have a standard license to Fantasy Grounds. You can just log in and play with your Dungeon Master on that ultimate license. So we're going to be sharing that link here in just a moment. That giveaway is live, and we'll be sharing it a few times throughout the stream. And of course, if you're watching it on YouTube later, be sure to check out the description in the link down in the description below. So, without further ado, I present the magnificent bastard, Jim Davis.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening for our 7th session of Save or Dice. Our heroes, having returned from a successful, if tense, information-gathering mission at the Deep Pillow, find themselves stalked by a shadowy pursuer. Turning and looking to see what's wrong, they discover that Oliver's nose is bleeding and that he has a beginnings of a severe headache. And within sight of the walls of their manse, they have decided to break cover and bolt. And
it's
so,
a good plan.
So that's where we're going to pick up. I've got initiative rolled for when we need it. And otherwise, you find yourself on the street of just a couple of houses over from Zelakai's manse. You can kind of see it through the buildings. And currently, you are coming from the north, sort of this street that everybody's characters are on. You've been approaching from the northern direction of the map there. I don't see Oliver on the map. Goodness, there he is. There he is.
Of course he's there.
It's not a party without Oliver.
It certainly isn't. Absolutely
It's impossible to have one without him.
And out of the shadows of these side streets and everything, you see, let me see here real quick.
Dear God.
Several figures approaching.
Oh no.
Some coming from the east, some coming from the west. Some there.
Sounds ominous.
Yeah. A real menace. These look like more of Yavo's thugs who have approached from out of the shadows, and there we go.
Are they masked over? Are they bleeding from their mouths?
Yeah, that's the same thing. You see the 4 of them, 2 of them approaching here from the west along this side street, and another 2 approaching across this open sort of courtyard square area. There's a large wooden platform that you know to be sort of like an auction that people conduct business here during the day. There's a couple of shops along the southern edge here. But you can see 2 of them. And, you know, normally when you've fought Yavo's thugs, they're wielding like clubs and maybe daggers. Whereas these look like they have weapons of war. They've got long swords and battle axes, things like that. They are not here to just have a street brawl. And you can also see the glint of armor underneath their clothes. So they're approaching. Everybody, give me a quick rundown of what your immediate reaction to this is.
Checking why I'm bleeding.
Yeah, so Oliver's like, just a steady trickle coming from his nose.
Joego takes off the spectacles and rages.
Okay, so Joego rages.
Yeah, Robin will be pulling his new shiny daggers out.
Okay.
Jardon remains in lizard form on the side of one of the buildings, trying to perceive and observe the source of events.
There. It's here. And I'll kind of point out the blood to everybody.
Okay.
As I begin to panic a little, just a little bit of panic is already
Just
beginning.
just a little bit.
It's supposed to be a reoccurring theme. My boy Oliver.
Yes, Oliver is. I sort of feel like that Oliver maybe is understanding the gravity of the situation. Panic. So Jardon has a good vantage point of the courtyard. The building that you're on top of right now is actually the highest building in this vicinity. You can easily see over the walls into, say, Zelikai's courtyard over here. The building that you're on is about 30 feet tall. Most of the others are between 10 and 20 feet tall. They're not that high. So Robin has drawn Steele, and Oliver is kind of pacing or sort of panicking, just trying to figure out what's going on. Joego is raged. Hostilian cannot be found. Last place.
Didn't we see a figure like they kind of like tipped us off last time?
Yeah.
Is that figure still visible, or the location where that figure was? Because that's where Joego wants to go.
The shadow of that figure, the last time you saw it, was sort of over here to the north of where you were, and you no longer see the shadow of it right now. So we're going to go ahead and just call this initiative, which means, and actually, it's going to be Oliver first.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue to panic and then just kind of look over, see the two threats down here. I'm gonna whip out my bow and I'm gonna just fire off, just like ambush, and just kind of fire off at these guys.
Okay.
So I've got an attack roll against the top one, 15.
15 is going to hit.
For 6, and I'm gonna fire off another arrow at him. 24 for 11.
For 11. Is anyone so the streets, this is night has fallen over the city. There's very little street light out here, so the moon and the stars kind of illuminating everything. Underneath the awnings of buildings, it's like total darkness. In the middle of the street, we're going to call it dim light. So you're shooting sort of at the very, as far as you can tell, you can see like two thugs coming at you. You think they might be Yavos, maybe some armor glinting in the moonlight, but you can't like really take out fine details.
Even if they're guards, I'm gonna fire at them. My nose is bleeding and I'm panicking, and it's dark.
Okay. As far as you can tell, you hit both. You hit both of your arrows, find their mark, and you hit the your target. Make a perception check for Oliver.
Okay, I can do that. Skills, perception. That's a thing I can do.
Yeah, and anyone else who's sort of facing that way can make a perception check as well.
A massive 9.
Nice,
Jim. A massive 9. It's a hefty 9, really.
What about 10? I see his 9 and I raise it 1 to 10.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, his arrows found their mark. Now, Jardon, do you have dark vision? Yes, or you usually have to use.
He does in lizard form.
Yes, he does in lizard form. Jardon sees the two arrows streak and just pass straight through the thug and clatter somewhere down the street.
Okay.
So anything else Oliver's doing?
I'm going to use my bonus action to inspire Joego.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you an inspiration die, Joego.
Sweet. So I think from
You've got to do something!
Where I'm at, I don't think I would have advantage to actually make a perception check.
No. There's a building blocking you. It's going to be Robin's turn next.
Okay. I don't really like this. Robin's not a hero. So
That's such like a good like extra point to add. Well, I'm not a hero.
Not a hero.
I'm just gonna
so
run
much.
down an alley.
But is Vandermouse a hero? You're in your Vandermouse, guys.
That is true. Oh, that is true.
That is true. You are dressed as or everybody's in their party finest.
Oh my, yeah. Brigands. And yeah, actually, I'm gonna pull out the crossbow.
Okay. Stowing one of the daggers, bringing out the crossbow.
Yeah, and
All right.
just fire that off.
Just all right, go for it. Which one, top or bottom? And you're firing the ones from the west or the east?
To the west, I guess it'll be thug number 2.
Same one that Oliver fired at.
Uh-huh. And that's just going to be a regular hit, correct?
That is going to be a hit.
I mean, no sneak damage, though. There you go, 6.
All right. Yeah, as near as you can tell, your shot lands true, and this guy has suffered 3 wounds from projectiles that you've sent down at it. Anything else from Robin?
That's a barrel next to me, right?
Yeah, that's like a barrel. There's like a barrel. Well, it's like, I guess it's a little small. You can hide around the corner, certainly.
I'll hide right there.
Okay.
Oh, you're totally killing me. You should totally let him hide behind the barrel.
Can I jump in the barrel?
Oh, that would be awesome. Please do.
Just like sit this one in. Yeah, so give me a stealth roll, and it's going to be Jardon's turn. You hide the shit out of that corner.
I melt into the darkness.
Right.
He's going to shift out of his lizard form from there on the roof and yell down to the others. Not real. Illusionary. Magics. Look for real danger. Not thugs. Illusions. And shift back into
Okay.
Lizardy and go crawling over in this direction.
Okay. So Jardon yells that out, so everybody knows what he's got.
Got it.
And then, so you shifted, yelled, moved. Anything else for you?
He's going to appear down the other side. He's going to try and hide as well. And this is a 25. Suck it, Robin Steele.
Ooh.
It's very earnest, Andrew. It's very earnest emotions.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So tiny lizard Jardon is easily hidden amongst the eaves of the tiles on this auction house roof. Let's see. All right. So Jardon can see that on this roof, about right here, steps out of the shadows a large, bulbous-shaped head with 7 shifting eyes and the long, slender limbs. It's floating maybe 10 feet off the ground, and just like kind of it's leading with its head, which is just this giant kind of pulsating purple veined brain.
Oh my gosh.
Its cowl is pulled back, and it is going to let loose with a blast.
This is the same one we saw at the
Yeah, it looks exactly like the one that you saw with your true sight potion at the party. Let's see, can it get everybody?
Robin, you need another stealth check. Really badly.
All right, there we go. Let's see.
Let me roll my save first.
I get all of you guys. Yeah.
Please be a deck save. Please be a deck save.
It is not going to be a dex save, sir.
I know.
I'm just gonna get this ready right now. What is that inspiration? Is that a die 6 or a die 8?
That
It's
is-
an
this
8,
is-
buddy.
This is going to be. Everybody's going to need to make me a
Dodge.
wisdom save.
Shit.
Yeah, because that's definitely a strength for Oliver.
Okay, I got a 14, and I'm going to use my
Oh my
bardic
god.
inspiration on that.
DC is 15. That's the one to beat.
Oh my god.
I have a
All right.
16.
Okay,
Return of the
this is a real live D&D stream. This is a real game. All rules are public.
All
So
right. What do we got here?
no plot armor here, guys.
Okay. So every one of you feels the intense wave of psychic energy just unleash off this thing, and it hits you like a wall of force. There's both those of you who rolled well, you rolled single digits. Those of you whose end result was single digits are almost sort of like knocked back by it. It is going to be 18 psychic damage, and all of you are stunned. You can make a save at the end of your round to end the effect. Yes, Pruitt.
Am I able to still use a reaction to have that damage?
Not if you're stunned.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, not if you're stunned.
Shit.
I am not stunned though, because I actually used my bardic inspiration and have a 16.
Yes, you did, didn't you? Where is
Yes.
that? There we go. Okay, so Joego is the only one that is not stunned. And this thing has literally floated out of the shadows. The wave of psychic energy is almost visible as it comes off of it and slams into you. Let me roll for Hostilian here real quick to see what she gets.
That's what you get. That pot saved you, Dave.
Yeah, Hostilian, wherever she's at. The bot did save you. The other thing that you notice is everyone who is within sight of it can feel, everyone but Robin that's within sight of it can feel a sort of mental connection with this thing. You can feel it sort of probing into your mind, and you start having thoughts that are not your own. They originate from your own mind. It's not like an outside source thinking them into you. You just start knowing things that are alien to you. As long as you're within this connection, you can probe deeper as well if you want. So when it's your turn, if you have an action available, you can attempt to probe the psychic connection that you have with this creature to basically engage in some two-way mind reading if you wish. That's my action. It floats there, and it's still about 10 feet off the ground. Joego.
All right. So that barrel was about 15 feet away from me?
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the barrel.
Uh-huh.
I guess that's an athletics check to parkour up the wall.
Yeah, give me an athletics check. There's plenty of handholds and things.
Alrighty. It's a 21.
You lope your way up there.
All right. So Joego snatches up the barrel, parkours up the wall, and yells, "No, make Joego think! Leave Jogo's friends alone!" and leaps off the wall and tries to slam the barrel over top of it.
Okay. As you get up close to it, so you're kind of up here, you can see that there are 6 like large cobblestones orbiting it in sort of these sort of like 2 up top near its head, 2 near its midsection, and 2 near its waist. And go ahead and you've got an athletics. Let's see. 21. Where am I at here? 17. You managed to like slam the thing down on it. And then what do you do? So you've got the barrel. We're using the barrel, or you're just like grabbed a hold of it?
Yeah. Like I flipped the barrel upside down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like slamming it over top of it.
Okay.
And just an improvised weapon, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
But you're not trying to make. Are you trying to make a grapple check?
Well, you know what? Actually, so I will actually just make an attack with it, because if I hit, I can do that as a bonus action.
My bad. I saw that. I saw that athletics roll. I thought you were making a grapple.
No, that was just the parkour up the wall.
All right. You can ignore the 17 then. There was no way I would have rolled it. Go ahead and roll to attack then.
All right. So I did.
Come
roll.
on, Joego.
Come on, don't fail me. A 15.
A 15 is going to miss. This thing sends one of those orbiting cobblestones.
Uh,
Right as you're about to bring the barrel down on it, it sends one of those cobblestones hurling into the barrel, and it shatters it to pieces.
oh, but I do get a second attack.
Correct.
All right, so we will try again. That's a 20 to hit.
20 is going to hit.
All right, so I lead with the barrel. It destroys completely destroys the barrel.
Uh-huh.
But I turn my barrel strike into a belly flop on it, and will attempt to grapple it.
All right.
So. Oh, that's a natural 20.
Yes.
Nice.
Not that it matters because it's a.
I got a 1. So you just like the barrel shatters. It's in pieces all around you. A shower of sparks rained, or a shower of splinters rain down off the thing, and you just like turn that into a giant bear hug. And you've got this thing. As near as you can tell, this thing doesn't have any bones.
Okay.
It feels entirely cartilaginous, and I don't even know if that's a word, and muscle and sinew. But you can't. It doesn't have a rib cage. It doesn't have a neck.
Okay, so it takes 8 points of damage from me,
Okay.
like trying to crush him or whatever.
Right.
So am I like floating in the air 10 feet off the ground now?
Yes.
Kind of like anaconda around this thing?
Yeah.
You stop, make Joego try and think. Joego no think. Joego no think.
Yeah, and you've got it's like tentacles are all wrapped around you. It's like its fingers are all like snaky, suckered tentacles all on you.
He's totally going to get bitten.
You bit.
All right, Jogo's done. So the thugs appear to run closer, and as they step out of the shadows, you can indeed see that they all look exactly the same, and you can tell the flaws of their illusory nature. So I'm gonna go ahead and just goodness, what's going on right there? So that's Joego. Let's see, the thugs are all right there. And it's going to be Hostilian's turn, wherever Hostilian is.
The next ward over.
Right.
Dude, you got to headbutt. You got to headbutt this thing with that pot. You just got to do that.
All right. Hostilian doesn't appear to do anything. It's going to be Oliver's turn.
I think I'm stunned.
Correct.
So I'm gonna do Bart things and be stunned for this round.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna do.
That you're going to do. All right. You can make your save.
Wisdom.
Correct.
I'm so glad I have a 10. Well, this is intelligent. There we go. I'm so glad that I have a 10. Oh, maybe.
There you go.
Maybe.
Nice.
There you go. All right. Oliver shakes it off.
Yes.
Your head's still funny. You still have that connection to the thing. You can still perceive its thoughts in your head, as well as
What the fuck was that?
as well as know that you're connected to its mind.
I'm gonna be upset, Oliver.
Okay. Robin.
All right, here goes my save. Yep, that's going to be a 6.
So Robin continues to sort of reel from the psychic assault.
To drool.
Yeah. Jardon.
Jardon will have been knocked out of his third form by the damage up there on the roof. So he's stunned too, and we'll play around with his connection a little bit more, trying to feel back, but we'll see if he's nope, still stunned.
No. If all you're doing is sort of like trying to probe back, even in your stunned condition, you're able to basically mind link with this thing.
Yeah, I'd absolutely want to try and understand as much about it as it's come up a few times now.
Right. So you sort of like perceive this thing's thoughts as your own thoughts. And you can tell that it is, anger isn't quite the right word, that anger would be sort of an alien emotion to this thing. More like annoyance is what it's feeling right now. And a strong desire to tie up loose ends. that it knows that you were the one that perceived it at the party, and it hopes that it can come away from this encounter with some or all of you in its thrall.
That get fucking moron off me. For God's sake, he's wearing a cooking utensil on his head.
Fucking cooking utensil.
Walking pot of soup is attacking me.
But you're still like physically stunned as you have this thing. All right.
His other Mind Flayer friends are never going to let him live this down.
No, it's not. All right. So let's see what happens. Joego, who is wrestling with this thing and kind of like, it's like trying to wrestle with an octopus, right? It's slippery. It's all over the place, or a snake, maybe it's probably more apt. But 1 minute you're grabbing a tentacle and trying to find a position to headbutt it, and the next minute you are falling from 20 feet up, and it has moved inexplicably over here. So Joego can make me a dex save, DC 12, to try to grab a hold of the ledge to keep from completely falling off the roof.
Sweet. Joego. Wait a minute. Let's see. Joego rocks at dex saves. Oh.
Never brag.
Pride
goes.
That's all right. I rolled minimum for the falling damage.
Fucking great at deck saves.
Watch just a shitty night rolling here. Favorite day.
If you rolled minimum, then I take a point because I have resistance.
Correct. Yes. But you are on the ground now, not on the roof.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it just like 1 minute it's there and the next minute it's not. And it reappears without flash or style, no puffs of smoke, no smell of sulfur. It's just on the other roof. Right. Nothing like that. And instead, it is going to focus its will on Joego.
Ooh,
and I need Joego to make me another wisdom save.
Oh, good. At least it's wisdom, guys. There's at least hope there. If he says intelligence, it'd be really bad.
That would be bad.
Ooh, that's a 19 actually.
Okay. So you are going to take half of that psychic damage that it's.
No, I take the whole thing for psychic damage.
Oh yeah.
It's
half because you saved.
Yeah, it's half. Because you saved.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
Now you got me all confused.
That's part of my.
But because you passed the save, you do not suffer disadvantage as it forces Joego to recall his most shameful and embarrassing memories to try to distract him from the fight.
It's like every minute of Jogo's life.
That time that he burned that soup.
All right, that's my go. It's Jogo's turn.
All right, so I am prone, so I guess I have to stand up. That sucks. Let's see. This bench, how far is that? Is that within 20 feet?
This bench right over here?
On the other side of the barrel.
Yeah, I think that's like 20 feet away. Yeah.
All right, Jogo. Oh, that's not Joego.
Whoa.
I have no choice but to throw Robin. No. Joego will run over there and pick up the bench and hurl the bench.
Okay.
Toss me. I'll just hold my daggers out and you can throw me at him.
You know, it crossed my mind. Oh,
24. Yeah, it tries to interpose a cobblestone, but misses just barely, and you hit this thing full on with a bench that you ripped out of the.
Can I get a D6 on a bench?
Oh yeah, you can get a D6 on a bench.
Oh, nice. So it's going to be 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage.
Now what you get when you try and make Joego think? Mean.
It continues its assault, and your DM forgot that it had legendary actions for a round, and it's going to use one of those.
Dodge.
It certainly is. I need Joego to make me another wisdom save.
Oh, Jesus.
Uh-oh. All right. So that is a 12.
All right. So it's the feelings of shame and discomfort overwhelm you. You take 9 psychic and have disadvantage on your next attack roll.
Joego feels so bad.
All right.
Joego's getting beat on
let's
too,
see.
like a drum.
All right. Hostilian actually manages to break out of the stun. And let's see what she can do. There we go. She's going to do something. She's not much of a fighter. She's more of a spy. But she does have a trick or two up her sleeve if need be. And she reaches into that puddle and sort of like puts her hand into it, and out of the puddle pop 3 sort of slimy, gross little gremlin-looking things that sprout membranous wings and go over and start harassing and distracting the thing.
Manny, Mo, Jack.
Actually, I guess she recovered from her stun. She'll do. She's in the process of doing that. So let's see. It's Oliver's turn.
Okay, so I was looking at counter charm. I was really hoping I said mind influencing effects, but I think it's specifically frightened or charm, so I'm not going to do that. I want to. God, this is so awful. I'm. You know what? I'm just going to light it up with fairy fire. I really don't think I'm going to fear it, so I'm going to light it up with fairy fire.
Okay. Let's light that.
And that is not the save.
What? Your save's like what? 14?
I think it's I want to say 14, but let me see here. 14.
Dex save.
Correct.
All the tiles and little bits on the roof. There's a balcony up here that that it's sort of standing in front of. All of that's lit up by fairy fire, but it is shrugged off your
Neat.
Yeah.
I'm gonna back up.
Okay.
A lot.
All right.
To there.
You're still like getting thoughts in your head that aren't your own.
Just kind of freaking out from the headache. That's it.
Oliver freaks out. Freak out should be like a special action that Oliver can take that gives him some kind of benefit. Bonus to fear effects, yeah.
It is rational to be fearful of things that can mind control you.
You're absolutely right about that. Absolutely right. All right, Robin, you're still stunned, yes?
Yeah, I'm still stunned. So end of my action. I'm going to roll. That's going to be another 4. There's our 4s are back.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Robin's sitting there drooling.
And by the way, I'm still hidden technically, I guess.
I mean, yeah, right. Like you were in the shadows hiding, so you're just kind of, I don't know, slumped against the wall and the underneath the awning.
I was gonna say it'd be nice if you had some bardic inspiration or something, but it wouldn't have helped.
Yeah. What have I done?
Yeah. Okay. And you don't even have a mental connection with this thing because you're immune to telepathy.
Yeah. So I'm just stuck with myself.
He's just hiding in a bush drooling.
Jardon.
All right, let's do a save again as he
Man, fuck you, Andrew.
there we go.
There we go.
Something like that. Yeah.
All right. So you still you managed to shrug off the paralysis of this thing. You're still sort of deep in this thing's surface thoughts. You could probe deeper, or you can take a regular action.
I will absolutely probe deeper. Whenever
Nice.
given the option to probe deeper, you must.
Elbow deep, sure thing.
Mm-hmm.
Shoulder deep.
Wasn't needed. That part wasn't needed.
I want to find out if it's thinking about anything else, maybe a boss, maybe a reason. It's here. All that stuff.
Gotcha. You perceive visions and experience its own memories of stepping through some kind of portal or something and getting here and realizing that it's stuck and can't travel forward in time like it's supposed to, and perceived memories of sort of frustration and trying to learn more about this place that it's been cast in, and determining that the best way to do that is to probe deeply into the brains of some of the inhabitants and stalking through the streets and taking those brains and sort of taking them back to a secret lair. You have memories of it making an alliance with a dark demonic power, exchanging information with each other, and sort of a pact of convenience for two stranded villains. Your Jardon experience is like all that as if it were his own memories.
Cool. If he can push back in any, even just kind of convey anything, he's going to start trying to send the message that he is someone who helps people find things and can help him find his way.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's my turn.
All right. Let me see real quick.
That's not gonna work.
Yeah, I mean, those of you telepathically connected to this thing it's like I don't know, your mind melded with it. So you're trying to incept it, give it some thoughts. All right, so this thing floats off the balcony where it's at. And hey. And you can
say don't
it.
eat brain. She just said it. Sorry.
And this thing rears up for another mental blast.
Wasn't necessary.
All right. Everybody in the cone.
Ugh.
Oh God. Will or wisdom?
Wisdom. DC
Not
15.
Will. Excuse me.
Not Will.
Even me.
Neat. Joego got a 5 and I got a 6.
Not you. You're already. Well, you still need to, just in case you want to see if you get less than or like half damage from the effect.
Oh yeah, there's that. Nope.
Man, you guys.
Welcome to the season finale of Save and Dice.
30 points?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is not trying to kill you, so if it drops you, it is attempting to knock you out.
I'm dropped.
Okay.
7.
I'm good, man. I got 2 hit points left.
All right.
At what point would Oliver just flee? Just totally take off running?
That's entirely up to you. The manse isn't that far away. It's just kind of right there. I'm done with my turn, by the way, Joego.
All right.
It's entirely up to you when Oliver might flee.
I'm debating on how easily mind control rock elementals are.
Probably not at all. All right, so Joego pops out of it.
So, see, the problem is, I don't think Joego will flee, especially if his friends are in danger. If it was a ghost, he'd already be gone.
Uh-huh.
But he's not afraid of these things, and he's raging.
That's true. He is raging.
He is raging.
This thing's about 10 feet off the ground, but you're pretty tall, and with your arms, you can probably get a hold of it.
Yeah, Jogo's totally leaping up.
Okay.
Ooh, he's got floating rocks.
Yeah, he's got floating rocks.
I want to leap up and try and grab them and bring my knees into my chest and kick him.
Okay. That's pretty sweet. You can get advantage on that roll. I like that description.
All right, which will give me a regular roll.
Right.
Because I already had disadvantage.
Oh, 1! It's a 1!
So Joego grabs a hold of a rock. He's like swinging, going to bring his legs up and kick this thing out. And at the last minute, the rock just moves a little bit. You're still holding on to it. But you're sort of revolving around it with him.
Nice. So I'll take my second attack as I'm flinging around, which is a 10, which isn't going to hit either. Get Joego off this crazy thing!
All right.
Someone's like, just let go, Joego.
Just let go.
Joego, run away! Run away, Joego.
All right. Jogo's good. Hostilian gets finished conjuring up the little gutter fairies from the puddle and sends them after the thing. Anyone in melee with them, they will grant the help action to. as they try to distract, poke, and generally be annoying to create an opening for you guys.
So just be gutter fairies, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. They're just little gutter fairies. And then she is going to blast the thing. Hits it. And she does some force damage to this. So she like rears back, pulls out a wand, blasts this thing with her with a ray of eldritch energy. And let's see if we're done with yeah, she's
like
done
the
with her
note.
turn.
This thing has not taken very much damage, all told.
It's taken some. It's hurt, but it's like I said, it has an odd physiology. It's kind of hard to tell what it is. Oliver.
Okay, I'm just checking something here real quick. Dave, where are you on the grid? Because you're kind of off. Like, what square are you in, man? Because I gotta spell that it matters.
Okay, I'm right in front of the thing, so. I mean,
here.
pretty, yeah.
That is the opposite of where I was hoping you were. Okay. Well, if that's the case, then I am going
We're kind of
to...
revolving around it right now because you're holding on to the rock. Yes.
Yes.
What are you trying to do, Cody?
You know what? I'm gonna move up because this is, I've just got to do it. I don't have a lot of options here, so I'm gonna move up, and I move up right behind Joego, and I'm going to cast Fear in a cone.
Okay.
14 DC.
You see 14.
Wisdom.
All right.
Actually, if I fail that save, it might be beneficial to me.
Yeah, it might be saving your life.
I did.
Oh
Yeah.
God! I knew it wasn't a good shot, but that's all
All
right.
right.
So, is it on my turn, or is it a reaction, or
You're gonna take off running. You're gonna
It's
run
on
really fast.
your turn. The first time you can use an action, you
Okay.
But it is a concentration spell, so if I see you taking off, then I can end it whenever. And
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and grant Joego Bardic Inspiration. Because why not? For
Okay.
reasons.
yeah,
reasons.
you might be wasting it. You should probably give it to somebody else. It might be down.
Yeah, you're totally right here. I'm gonna give it to Pruitt. I think he's still locked up, isn't he?
I think
Robin is still locked
Robin
up?
I think Robin is dropped, if I understand him correctly.
Okay, then forgive me. I didn't catch that part. I didn't.
Yeah.
Then I will use my bonus action to cast Healing Word on Robin for a 1d4.
Okay.
So he'll heal up for 2.
Okay.
Man, I hate to be that guy, but you can't.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think in this case, in order to prevent a TPK, I'll allow it.
I'll take the blame there. I've got stuff
That's
going
fine.
on over here. I didn't realize that he had dropped.
That's fine. Yeah, it is plus charisma. So 4 plus whatever
4.
Oliver's charisma is. 4.
Yeah, 2 plus 4.
Gotcha. All right, Robin. In time for your round. You have 4 hit points.
I have. Wait, I thought he had a +4, so that would be 6, right?
You got 6, buddy.
Yeah.
6 total.
Yeah, I got 6 hit points.
All right.
You got like
All it
3
takes
times
is
as
one.
many.
All it takes
Yeah,
is 1.
From the ground, I pull out my crossbow, and then shoot it from the ground.
He's gonna stand up and fire off.
I stand up, leaning against the wall, and fire off my crossbow.
Drunken.
God, this is just stupid.
You have advantage to hit. The one of the gutter fairies are distracting it, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
They are granting
Okay.
the help action.
16 to hit.
16 hits.
All right, and since I have a compatriot in melee with it, it will take 20.
All right. So, having broken free of your psychic stupor, and the 2 big old waves have just washed over you, battered and bruised, Robin draws his crossbow, and it just like skips off of like part of like maybe a chitinous plate or something that's on it, or just a piece of gross hardened flesh, and then like skips right into one of its eyes. It's just kind of hanging out of there like this. 20 damage. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. And
All right.
then I'm going to move up here and hide.
Okay. Sweet. Jardon.
All right. He's going to continue this connection, see if he gets any response before he takes his choice. We get a sense like, yeah, he's not interested, right?
The sense that you get right now is that this thing, up until a moment ago, was feeling pretty smug and confident, taking a couple of attacks from Joego and then from Robin has shaken its confidence a bit. But you get the impression that what it's looking for is not something that you'd be able to help it with.
Okay.
Although it seems very interested in like studying you. You know from the connection that you have with it now that it doesn't know. It's extremely curious about both you and Robin, and that if it had its way, it would take both of you back to whatever lair it has in the sewers and study you, which doesn't sound like it, which you know would not be a very pleasant experience for either of you.
Right. Can I glean just one more piece of information?
Yeah, you're in there deep.
Where about his lair might be, recognizing using my sewer urchin.
It's in the old tunnels. That's below the sewers, below the sort of aqueducts and sewers that make up the immediate surface of the Undercity, sort of the upper layers of it. Below that are sort of the older remnants of the previous town, and then even below that are like caves. It's in the old tunnels somewhere deep. You could get there. It would take a while, but you also know that it's not that far. It's just deep underground.
Okay. Well, important information gathered. He is going to kind of stand up from where he was stunned on the ground, lift his clawed hands up, and his eyes begin to crackle with an energy, and water begins to kind of flow out from the ground, those little puddles, and even little sewer grates and such, and form a big swirling cloud above the scene. And with his eyes crackling, he's going to bring his claw together, kind of gathering energy, and simultaneous a claw of lightning kind of forms and then comes slashing down onto the Scion as I cast Call Lightning.
Sweet. All right.
Dominate it. Dominate it.
That's a dex save.
A dex save of 14.
Okay,
So he'll take 6 lightning.
6. Yeah. So the lightning streaks out of the sky and connects with it, even maybe singeing a couple of Jogo's hairs. He's so close. And because your DM is ever forgetful, I'm going to take my legendary action before its turn.
Wasn't needed. Wasn't necessary.
Of course it is. Of course it is. And it is going to, one of the cobblestones, like, shoots out towards Jardon, and I need Jardon to make a dex save DC 15.
All right. It is a 12.
Okay. So you are going to take the 8 bludgeoning damage from this thing as this cobblestone like shatters against the wall and sending splinters and stone chips all over you.
Ooh, concentration.
Yeah.
Nope.
Boom.
That's
How about that?
Oh, you got that.
Damn.
You got that.
How about that?
All right.
Right
Whose
on.
turn is it now? Oh, that was my. Yeah, that's right. That's my legendary action. It's my turn now. All right. What do we got here? Jardon is, or Joego is within close range. He's within the close range. So we are going to have. It reaches out a tentacled thing and tries and is attempting to attack. It's going to attempt to attack Joego.
Now we find out with the he probably has advantage. I'm stunned.
It almost certainly. Oh yes, if it's on, it does have advantage. Thank you.
I'm probably laying underneath of it on the ground.
Yeah, it's probably like trying to like float down. Good grief. 14 hit you? I don't think so.
It does not.
Does not. Okay. It's not very good at what it's trying to do just there. Yeah, it's still sort of like fending off the gutter fairies with one hand and trying to reach down with its long, sort of this roping tentacled fingers come out of the cuff of its robe, and is trying to like reach down and grab at Joego and like attempting to take the pot off his helmet and grab a hold of him by his face, but doesn't get a good grip.
Thank God I was wearing a helmet.
Mm-hmm.
See?
I'm sorry, Joego.
It's Jogo's turn.
Hey, sorry, buddy.
All right. That's only a 13. Jogo's laying on the ground convulsing. And no longer raging.
No longer range. You're overcome by the fear.
Well, no, I'm stunned.
Oh, you're stunned.
He's still stunned. I couldn't even run away.
He's so scared he can't move.
Oh my goodness.
I'm feared and stunned. Well, I guess that was for the stun. I guess for the fear.
I'm gonna stop concentrating on the fear here in just a moment.
Okay.
The second I don't see this thing run away and try to take your pot off, I'm not gonna worry about it anymore.
Okay.
So I would still be feared anyway, but Jogo's just like convulsing on the ground, drooling.
All right.
I know the feeling.
I've got a kind of an idea. Let's. All
right. Battered and bruised, Hostilian attempts to take this thing out again. There we go. 15 misses this thing. Let's see if it gets the other one. 22 does hit, though. It's going to take some damage as she continues to sort of like just pour magical force out of her wand into this, and big purple sparks flying off into the distance. It's going to go with a legendary action. And in this time, I need Oliver to make me a wisdom save.
I'm about to go.
I know.
All right. We've got no whammies.
It can't see. Here's what it can't see. Robin. Jogo's stunned on the ground.
17, buddy. 17.
Yes. Boom.
Right.
Naked. It's naked 17.
Never give up. Never surrender. Damn.
It takes 6 psychic damage.
You're gonna
With all the fours.
I
you
think
do not-
6.
Yeah, it takes 6 psychic damage, but you don't have disadvantage on your next hit.
I'm at 1. I'm at one life. That was just what I needed.
We got him right where we want him, boys.
There we go. That was my legendary action. It's Oliver's turn.
Okay, y'all are gonna be really disappointed. Y'all are gonna be really, really disappointed. So what I'm gonna do is, I think we need help really badly right now, and maybe try to scare this thing away. So what I want to do is I want to look at the tallest roof that I can see in front of me, and I want to put the biggest. I'm gonna cast Major Image.
Okay.
And the biggest bell that I can possibly create. I'm going to create a huge, I think it's large size technically, 20-foot cube. So a 20-foot cube worth of bell on fire, ringing out all the way throughout the city. Just huge, bright bell on fire, ringing out throughout the city. I'm trying to get the attention, hopefully, of a luminary that can teleport here and help us.
I mean,
like
Uther's
right now.
place is like just a block away.
That's exactly what I want to do there.
Yeah.
I want to put a big shit going down right here sign on the top of the house, and then I'm gonna move away because I think that's also a smart decision since I'm at 1 life.
And the camera pans to Uther on his balcony with a large bag of popcorn.
Just a huge, loud bell on fire right above us.
All right. Okay. I like it. It's bright. It's loud. In the middle of the night, it stands as a bright beacon. Yeah, there you go. Excellent. And then you've moved way out of the way there. Let's see.
That's my turn. Well, as a bonus action, I want to inspire. I'll inspire Joego. I think he needs an awful lot of help.
Okay.
At the moment.
Why does it keep rolling death saves for Robin?
Yeah, I'm up, man.
Oh, you didn't. We didn't give you that healing that you should have there.
Sorry.
I'll change it. I got it.
Nobody told him.
That's why it keeps rolling death saves for you. It's Robin's turn. There's a giant flaming bell going off on top of the thing. Jogo's lying flat on his back with this thing trying to rip his pot off his helmet and get its tentacled fingers all up in his mucous membranes.
So
I
what you're
think
saying is I'm hidden from it.
I think if it
Correct.
eats Jogo's brains, it's going to take psychic damage.
Easily, right? Easily.
Well, then I'm going to attack
It's
this
going to get
bastard.
whatever the psychic equivalent of diarrhea is.
Ugh.
That's rough, brother. That's really rough tonight.
Yeah.
Good thing I'm a skulker.
Yes, absolutely. Good thing you're a skulker. So you fire your crossbow bolt out of the darkness, but I don't know, maybe Robin's shaken, not stirred.
Can I? Yeah, certainly not. Can I draw and throw a dagger as a bonus action?
I'll allow it. You already have a dagger in your offhand, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Just maybe don't get my +3.
Right. Yeah. A 19.
Yep. Because I wouldn't get that with advantage, would I? Or would I?
There are still 3 gutter fairies flying around the thing,
True.
distracting it and
So-
just generally being annoying.
So a 19 to hit, yes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna roll this because it's what I have in here. So we'll just subtract 3 from what this says. So 14.
14 damage. Your dagger sinks deep into its gelatinous flesh. And it's sort of like those of you who've been really just Jardon, but actually, I don't know, Joego can kind of feel this. Oliver can as well, but Jardon really feels it. It is in pain and seems to be, it really felt that. And
Good.
I don't know. That's great. I love it. Jardon.
Is there any sense of he wants to stop or give up? Or
Yeah, the sense that it has now is that it's looking to escape, and it's looking to find the quickest way back to the Undercity.
Okay. Well, we can stabilize it. I think stopping it for the moment. So another clawed lightning comes arcing down
Okay.
as an action. Boo.
All right. That's Dex save DC 14.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Finally.
Finally.
Yes.
Yeah.
All 14 of the lightning.
Takes all 14 of that lightning.
Fried calamari.
Yeah. So Jardon calls down another lightning bolt out of the sky, and it's sort of like a jagged fork of it hits this thing as it's sort of floating about 5 feet off the ground. And are you? What are you trying? Are you trying to kill it, or are you just trying to knock it out?
To knock it out. I mean, I'm not sure I can do much, but to kind of stun it.
Mhm.
Really, his goal. He doesn't want to kill it, but
Okay. So it, you knock it out, and it just like the bolt of lightning hits it, and the cobblestones fall to the ground, and this thing sort of collapses in a boneless heap on the ground, like a wet, smacky noise as it lands, and there's an eerie stillness in the air.
Underneath the clanging, the klaxon of the bell.
Yeah, underneath the klaxon of the bell. Yeah.
I have not
There's
stopped
always-
it. It's ringing.
Okay, Jim. Yeah, I'm immediately gonna go recover my dagger and just kind of like
Okay. You rush over there to recover it.
have both of them like over him. Like if he
Mhm.
twitches, I'm
Okay.
gonna sink them both into him.
Yeah, what's everybody's immediate reaction after Jardon knocks this thing out of the sky?
Joego comes out of being stunned,
Uh-huh.
and why squishy thing on Joego? What happened? Because I was under it, so I imagine when it collapsed on me.
Yes, yeah, it's sort of half on you, and it's like a giant squid thing, just all ropey tentacles and
Oh, this thing smells so bad. Joego, don't even think Joego would eat this.
Is
smells
it
so
dead?
bad.
Is it dead?
not
It
yet.
stinks.
you know,
Well, then
somebody can
fucking kill it.
we can do a medicine check on it.
Yeah, he'll come down to first 10 to Joego and then 10 to the creature itself to kind of stabilize it but not wake it up.
Another
Okay.
4.
Good old 4s.
Xenophon appears in a puff of smoke.
Oof. Yeah, just in case.
It's all bell.
This is for that's for Joego and then for Robin. Just in case. And for Oliver. Everyone gets some mushrooms all around as he just stares down at it.
All right, so
Appreciate it, buddy.
The 5 of you, really, actually now the 6 of you are ringed around this thing. Hostilian she's got the gutter fairies just sort of perched around her for as long as they'll last, and then the 4 of y'all, and then Xenophon with his sort of golden skull cap and cloth of gold robes, just sort of I assumed there was trouble.
Trouble.
Was that trouble?
Oh, Jogo's head hurts so bad.
Oh my God, we're alive, right?
Thanks.
I think so.
Everybody's roped up.
Wait, Robin actually starts to get scared when nobody answers that question.
Yes.
Oh, Jogo heard this awful ringing. What is that awful ringing in Jogo's head?
It's the pot, Joego.
Yes. And I shut it off. I'll turn
Oh
off
my
the.
God,
I'll turn off
still
the
ringing
image.
in Jogo's head.
Joego got his bell rung.
Hey.
Tells bells.
Jardon's gonna motion for Joego to pick him up. He'll pat him on the back. You did good. Helmet is very nice. Worked very well. Let us get it out the street. It is having of many answers. Come quick.
Dangerous, about to be killed by us, murdered, soon to be dead, the walking dead. Dead squid walking, yes? Jardon, you can't assume to bring this back to the manse and tend to it.
We could
What are
learn
you
a
guys
lot
going to
from
do
it.
with this thing? Sorry, Robin.
No, we could learn a lot from it, Oliver.
Learn a lot from it, like how to bleed from your fucking head. If it comes to, you don't even know if you could control it.
It is lost. It wants only to go home and wants to find a way. And I not apologize for
Only
violence.
go home. It only wants to go home. That's why it attacked us in the middle of the streets. Is it's desperate for its cave or house, whatever the fuck these things live in.
Jardon's connection with it, those 3 rounds, you're, at least for now, you have vivid memories that are not your own. It's part of an advanced scout sort of force. It is stranded here. It can't get back to its main body, but that it is part of a larger invasion.
Maybe it would smell better and taste better with salt and hot sauce.
I agree. That sounds like a wonderful stew. And I'll kind of look back over at Jardon, like I'm ready to argue about this more.
Would be tasty, but is very strange. Much to learn answers it has. And much I have to tell you about the party. We should get to safety, I think, first.
Robin, help me out, please.
Joego will grab a handful of tentacles and head towards Jardon to follow.
Okay.
Jardon's very smart. Joego followed Jardon.
Yeah, it's a big tentacled mess of it. It's really kind of difficult to carry. But you're big and huge.
I'm reenacting the scene from Independence Day.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be at a barbecue.
Just kicking it in the desert.
I had just looked that up.
Yeah.
Jogo try to be Sir Thomas, have party, and the stupid squid thing, make Jogo think.
Yeah.
Oliver, I know you just want to off this thing and be done with it, and it's probably the smart thing.
No,
but
I want to live, Robin. I want to live.
I do too. But we can learn from it. We need to know where it's at. We need to know where the demon is, where they've been operating from. I mean,
It is much to talk, but street not the place. To the manse, I think. Tie this thing up.
yes,
What is
to the
the
man.
luminary
For the
doing?
record, this is an awful idea. Just terrible.
Xenophon is there. He's kind of like looking at it. He's still in his party clothes as well. Probably was on his way home whenever he saw the bell. And he's like,
He's the only one came to those punk asses.
Is the bell still going?
No. I shut that off because
Oh, okay.
I don't know if which luminaries are actually allies.
Right.
So it was kind of a desperate thing, but
Gotcha.
yeah. So it's gone.
He's sort of like, this is the thing that they summoned, and this is the demon.
No. This is not the demon. This is
Demon,
What is this?
it is creature from distant realm, now stuck, but made deal with. We say here, or not sure is best. Go in.
Yes.
First.
Let's. I think if there's a safer place, we can discuss our options. That would
Yeah,
be
well-
best.
Let's go to Zelakai's match.
The way's clear to the manse.
Oliver, how does this thing make Jogo's head hurt?
Apparently, your pot wasn't thick enough, Jogo.
Jogo started looking for a thicker pot.
I
Is that a cast
imagine
iron
you'll
skillet?
need a much thicker pot when this is said and done.
Jogo should get an iron or a lead pot. That's what you need. Lead-lined iron pot.
I'm not actually
Still-
gonna stop anybody from trying to take him back to the manse.
Okay, but
I'm just gonna
Oliver's
bitch the whole
firmly
time.
against this. the whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah. I'm just gonna whine.
All right. Jogo can, throw this thing over his shoulders and carry it out of there. Hostilian is sort of nervous about it as well, and while she wasn't going to speak up, seemed to be nodding whenever Oliver was speaking. And as the two of you, as the group of you sort of make your way down the street to the manse, you can just kind of tell Hostilian doesn't like this either. She's just kind of like, this is a bad idea kind of look on her face, the part of her face that you can see at least.
Well, I was gonna go up to Jardon and
right.
and ask him, is there any way that you can contain this thing's ability? I mean, is there any magic you know?
Not certain, but Zelakai surely has some book somewhere. Or have Jogo simply punch if it stirs.
He
Yeah,
does
I'm
like-
picturing
does like a
Bobcat
punch.
from Police Academy. Police Academy.
That's way too dated. That's way too dated.
I don't think it wasn't Police Academy anyway. It was Whoopi Goldberg and Bobcat. Forget the name of the movie though.
Oh yeah,
It moved just like a little bit.
yeah. I couldn't. Oh man, that's taking me way back. Okay, so you guys get to the manse. The streets are clear, and most people don't go out on the streets at night, especially not when there's the sound of a big fight. And so the way is clear for you. You pass through the gates of the manse, through the garden, up the path to the ziggurat, opening the door. Some of the children are still there. Curio's there.
Children got to stay somewhere else tonight. You cannot stay here.
Aw, you can't make us go home.
No, you got to go. This thing
You don't-
can hurt.
Are we dragging the mind flayer in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kids,
I
you don't
just
have to go
point.
home.
Just
Its
point
head
at it.
bounces off every step.
Yeah. So the magpie and small Sebastian just shriek when they see this thing. I mean, they just go absolutely bonkers. As well as what's his name? Scooty the Pluck. Looks like he starts crying. He seems visibly upset. The three of them do. The other kids are just like,
I pull them aside to try to calm them down while Joego's dragging this thing in, and I just try to calm them down, and then I bring them in real close, and I say, if you ever grow up and get a chance to kill something like this, do it immediately. Don't even think about it. Promise me.
They're like, the two of them that are crying are just like, makes them feel even worse. They're just like, why do I want to kill anything?
Oliver, what are you doing?
Scooty's fear is turned to resolve, and he's like, yeah, I'll murder
I'm
this shit out
ensuring
of
the
a weird
survival
psychic
of the
octopus.
species, Robin.
You're trying to create the next generation of adventurers?
Yeah.
Giving them a scarred backstory?
Yep. All right, you guys are back at the manse. The relative calm of the manse. What's the plan, gentlemen?
Plan?
Let's gather them together, and much to tell.
Okay.
Like we have plans. We're
with-
just fucking winging the shit.
So yeah, Xenophon is curious about it. What do you guys do with the thing? What do you? Jardon knows that it refers to itself as the Seeker. The rest of you have, everybody else that sort of shared in its telepathic mind meld, have some sort of recollection of the surface thoughts that it had. Anyone who participated in that, whether it was just the connection to it or you actually probed deeper, can attempt to make intelligence checks to recall information. So let me know if that's something you guys want to do. It's there, I guess, on a table or something.
Sure. Jardon will look from bruised and battered friends to the next, and nod, kind of building himself up to talk. We did well tonight. The potion, it worked, and I saw much. I should do build up like in stage, small problem to big, or just go big problem. What?
I think we can handle the big problem first.
Well, it is little awkward, but Ethel, Luminary Ethel.
Yeah, he really cut loose tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Him really good dancer.
Yes, you were all very close to him at multiple times. He is a hulking steel demon creature with yellowish eyes, feral, and he is the demon. And yeah.
Jardon short. Joego see him dance. He did not look hawkish or brutish.
It was illusionary. He is
He
monster.
knew all the moves.
Big, scary, like cats, but not cats. Cats and Joego thing.
Well, no, Joego let kids dance with him.
He would not. I do not think this is why I not tell you at the party, but I do not think he would act there. Reveal himself, though I am not certain whether the others know. Isadora, she was not there. Purely illusion. Krotos and Xenophon, normal, but Krotos had guards, also invisible. And the Seeker, he gestures, it was there too. He was there. Robin, not see you. Very interesting. Deep void. But that is least of problem, I think. I think we know.
I'm sure I don't know what you're talking about.
He gives a...
Joego a little scared now. Jardon, Was Joego at the party?
You, yeah, you were there, yes.
Oh, good.
Very certainly there.
Joego is very scared. Everyone there, not there. Joego's so confused.
It is very mixy magic, but I think we know now. It is Athel, who is, in fact, this demon Pag. Long name. But it does not make much sense if he is luminary and also demon, but luminary summon demon. Some piece is not right.
Yeah, Xenophon thinks on that for a bit and sort of seems to be deep in thought. Hostilian is off in the corner, paying attention, but not a part of the immediate conversation about everybody else.
So, what we do about this illuminary demon? Maybe we ask it leave.
We have the binding crystal and ritual for this part, but did not expect it to be one of the five itself. Again, some piece is not right. Maybe Sikar here knows more.
Joego wonder where Athel is then.
Probably has a hole in his head.
It makes sense, yes. It does. So, I know we had him there, but did not seem right. Did not seem safe way to deal with problem. But now we know. And so we must seek him out, yes.
Jardon, how we stick demon in the crystal? That's a lot of stuffing, even for Joego. Joego stuffed a turkey once, and this does not seem like that at all.
No, this is magical. It is not like stuffing turkey. No, it is like grabbing tendrils of ether and weaving complex arcane webs throughout the bending. It is like stuffing turkey, but magic.
Oh, tentacles. We have tentacles of this thing. We use that?
Yeah, we can put those in a turkey.
Yeah, Jardon has actually read a lot, sort of the metaphysics behind what exactly is going on in those times that he's been studying in Zelakai's library. Basically, you have to destroy the host body and capture it as it escapes.
So we still have to defeat it.
But now we know. But defeating it is ferocious creature. Smart as well, clever.
Should not be so hard. We beat this thing. Piece of cake.
Not so cake, but we did surprising, yes, given this thing is potent.
So
What you will do next?
That's what I was how do we want to restrain this being?
Yeah, so give me an idea of where you guys are at both in the manse and what you're sort of doing immediately. Are you give me some idea of what the setup is like where you're at right now. If you're in the upper floors with the guests, you go down to the basement. Where will you guys be?
Didn't he have a circle down in the basement?
He does have a circle down in the basement, the very sub-basement. So what the intelligence check here, Jardon, that's you're trying to recall information.
Yeah, so I think down in the basement within that circle or that area seems to be the wisest area. And he's trying to glean what might be a good approach and what can we do with this creature. And is it something that he wants to get the feel if it's like redeemable or not, I guess. If he helped him find his way, would it only just be more terrible things?
your deep connection with it during the mind meld, and the memories of which are still really vivid, are that this thing is, while it doesn't have malevolence, it does have a indifference to what you would consider life. That it sees people and other living sentient creatures as objects to be used, and that, like I said, it is a part of a much larger force that is looking to project itself back in time. The seeker itself you weren't quite connected to it long enough to maybe get that kind of information out of it, what exactly the larger force is, but you know that something is coming, whether it's at some point. That kind of information out of what exactly the larger force is, but
I don't know where that's coming from.
Either.
Getting a little bit of feedback here.
Yeah. And then in terms of sort of dealing with it, you know that you could probably trap it in a magic circle. Either Curio or Xenophon is capable of activating the circle in Zelakai's basement. It should stay there.
So I, as a player, just thought of an absolutely amazing scene. I don't know that my character would know how to achieve this magically, or if this is a relevant goal, but let me put it out there and you guys go with it. We send Oliver / Robin to the mother brain in the future, disguised as illithids, and they persuade them to leave this time alone. How does that sound?
Awful. That sounds like it's not going to happen.
I think I'd be down for that. Yeah.
I would give you all the inspiration that you need, Robin, on your way out the door solo.
It suddenly becomes a very different game.
Let me roll a disguise check.
Now, is that a credible, like, is this enough of a threat? Because does he understand this enough that, or even how to go about doing this?
So does Jardon know anything about time travel magic?
Like, he's from a different place. Is this like a bigger, like, looming threat? I mean, a demon's bad, but Mind Flayer's coming back here as a delicious place to feed on is no good either.
Right. So Jardon knows, just through his casual reading and his own sort of abilities, that time manipulation magic is entirely theoretical at this point in the magical development of this world. That it's speculated by the highest sort of wizards and scholars and sages, but the actual execution of it has never been attempted or even remotely. Jardon might just have to sit with the knowledge that a time-traveling Mind Flayer invasion is on its way at some point.
I will not share that information with the others.
Well, if anything, we definitely need to make sure he doesn't get back to where he wants to go, because he is the scout, and
or we put on a play for him, convince him, and then he goes back with this different vision.
Yes, everything is told better through the lens of theater. I do agree, but
you learn new shit on Saber Dice every week.
You know that it's considering undeath in order to live long enough to find a solution to its problem, and that's a medium-term goal for this thing. Everybody, just what are y'all's passive perceptions? I think everybody's got at least a 15. Yes, if I'm remembering correctly. I probably should have that written down somewhere.
I think I'm the lowest at 16, unless it's 16. Joego.
Yeah. So this thing is starting to stir just a little bit.
I want to kind of pull Joego aside while Robin and Jardon are chatting. If I can get him. I just want to lean and whisper, Joego, we have got to kill this thing. It ate Zelakai's brains. Think about that. Do you want to let this thing get out and hurt children? It ate Zelakai's brains, Joego.
Oliver thinks it's going to hurt the children?
I think that it cannot leave the manse under any circumstances. You have to assure me that you will help make that happen.
So Jogo's eyes go hard, and he takes the spectacles off and puts them away.
Yeah.
And then he snaps into a rage, and he grabs it and just starts slamming his pot down on its head.
Oh shit! Okay, well that was way faster than I was thinking.
No hurt children! No hurt children!
Okay.
What the hell is going on?
So if anybody wants to attempt to restrain Joego, we can make it. We can roll initiative. Otherwise, Jogo's going to splatter this thing's giant psychic brain all over the table.
I have 6 hit points.
Okay.
I was kind of thinking Jardon was going to get a few words in here, and that escalated quickly.
But I will snap a look over at Oliver because I'm pretty sure I heard some of that.
Yeah. So this kind of, I guess, all happens at once. So Joego, you take your pot off your helmet, or you take your pot off your head and smash, no hurt children, like just immediately. Yeah.
Yep.
No remorse. Right. I feel nothing.
Yeah. This thing's deep purple and veiny brain just like cracks like an overripe cantaloupe all over the table. It doesn't have a skull. It's just a fleshy, leathery sack of a head. And looking at it now, it's just a mass of flesh and organs. And you just like beat it to a pulp all over the table, covered in purple ichor.
When Joego finally like stops and he's got the pot, like the warped and bent up pot, like slammed one final time onto the table where its head was. He's kind of like he's like shaking and weeping a little bit and quietly murmuring as he comes out of his rage, no hurt the children. No, Joego not let you hurt.
It's pretty fucking impressive.
Joego, I turn over to Jardon because I know that's probably where the biggest conflict is. And I just look at him and just said, we're better off this way.
I think I agree.
Joego,
Sorry,
why don't you come with me upstairs and we'll make some tea. What do you think?
Good call.
Joego like tea.
Good call. So that happens. That was pretty intense. The NPCs in the manse are all kind of shaken.
I search his body.
You search his body? Okay.
Somebody has to. Might as well be the rogue, right?
You find a lot of stuff that you have no idea what it does or the purpose of it. We can kind of cover that at another time. But you find a ton of like crystals and copper instruments and things. Some weird bladed, like maybe scalpels or something. So, but Robin finds a lot of weird objects whose purpose is not immediately clear to what you got. Let's see what we've got. Curio is, checking the defenses, sort of partially cleaning up, and in general, just he's been sort of similar to the way he's been since this whole thing started. Where he's like wants to be helpful, but sort of feels in over his head. Lucian was helping the children out, and he was going to walk them home to make sure that they got to where they were going. And then Hostilian and Xenophon are just like, well, I suppose that's one down.
What you think then? Athel being taken over, replaced by Damon. Will Master Uther come and help us deal with him?
I think Uther, if we present this evidence to him, particularly, I think our combined accounts will be enough to convince him to aid us. I know the matter of the demon has been troubling him greatly, causing him to behave strangely. He's not right. He clearly wants to make amends, and this should be enough to push that stubborn old dwarf into action. He seems it's kind of a remorseful, wish it hadn't come to this kind of look on his face.
Just curious. So you said the lair of this the seeker in the old tunnels is rather distant. Is this something Jardon could go reasonably for? Is this going to be days or weeks?
It would take you a couple of hours to get there. And that's using all of your druidic abilities to navigate the environment. Someone not as familiar with the Undercity and not as capable of traversing it would have a much more difficult time. There's parts of it you are completely submerged. You'd have to go through in order to get there. You could. It's doable, but it would be difficult.
Okay.
And for the time being, you still have your the after effects of your mind meld. Basically, the way I'm treating it is its memories are yours until the effect fades. They just require increasingly difficult intelligence checks to recall the information, depending on how far back in time it is or how obscure the memory is. And that goes for both Joego and Oliver as well, although the information you can recall is limited to surface thoughts, things that happened really recently, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Do we have memory of him? Like, are there any survivors like in his lair? Or anyone waiting to be harvested? Anyone there now?
Go ahead and make me an intelligence check. In this case, the difficulty is 10.
Okay, I will guide myself.
Mm-hmm.
Just intelligence. That plus that. Woohoo!
11. You know that its lair is pretty Spartan. There are living things there. It appears to have captured and kept on hand critters, stray cats, dogs, creatures of this world that it was clearly studying. It is constructed an apparatus to enhance its telepathic abilities, and that's what it was using the brains for. But it itself was not actually consuming the brains. It was passing those on to the demon.
That is so much worse. That is so much worse.
Interesting.
Well, we've interrupted its food supply.
Well, I'll have to convey that to the others. Jardon's in deep thought about what to do next. I guess we'll have to reconvene for a chat.
Okay. How about everybody else? Robin's rifling through its corpse.
Yeah, I'm making tea.
Oliver's making tea. Joe
Robin
goes upstairs
Robin
with tea.
things.
Robin's robbing people because
Right.
that's what he does. And also, I'm going to be healing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you guys are benefiting from a short rest if there's any hit dice you want to spend for that kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely spending. As I drink my soothing tea, I think I'll be spending some healing hit dice.
So you guys take the short rest. It's getting to be approaching sort of like 10 o'clock-ish at night. And then let me actually get you guys the...
Roll one more of those.
No, that's not what I'm looking for. Excuse me. Excuse me there. All right. Just a second. So it is getting to be later in the evening. The excitement has worn off. The adrenaline pumping through you has died down, and the manse and the streets around it have gone silent. The unseen servants of the manse are cleaning up the bloody mess of the seeker, and then that's where we're at right now. I do think, even though we're not going to actually do it right now, at the end of this session, you guys are going to gain a level. So this is sort of a good time where the effects of that can take place. If Jardon is curious about getting there, you're pretty sure you can go there tonight and you know the area well. It's not that inhabited that deep down. The only thing you're likely to run into are like giant albino alligators and things like that. So you're confident you can get there in and out without too much risk.
Okay, I think he'll slip away. While the others definitely need resting and time to kind of recuperate. Jardon kind of needs it, but he's still got all his wild shapes, and the thought of caged creatures and the mystery of it all will take him in his variety of shape-shifting forms to head down and pillage and loot the lair.
Okay.
Right.
Xenophon at some point that evening, particularly after it's been decided that you guys are going to present your case to Uther, says that he's going to depart, that haste is needed, and he thinks that you should just come to Uther's manse tomorrow early, and he'll meet you at the door. You won't have to greet a footman or a servitor or a construct or anything. He can get you in and get you an audience with Uther.
That would be much appreciated.
Yeah. We present a unified front. I'm sure we can chip away at his reticence to act.
Certainly hope so.
All right. How does everybody spend the night?
Healing.
That sounds about right.
Everyone that participated in the mind meld with it needs to make me a wisdom save DC 15.
+0.
There you go.
Yeah, baby.
Jardon's good.
Not so much at 12.
Joego is going to have a form of madness. He did not come away from this encounter unscarred. We can work out exactly what it is, but you'll have at least a new flaw and some psychic scars from the encounter.
Nice.
Everybody else shaken. Your dreams are fucked up that night. I mean, just you dream illithid dreams that evening.
I sleep like a baby.
That's the best descriptor, Jim Davis.
By the early morning, those of you who just experienced sort of the surface of the mind meld, the memories are fuzzy, difficult to conjure back up. But Jardon, they're still very vivid for you. And you come back from your excursion and deep into the Undercity. You found there were many animals who their needs were not being met. They weren't being fed. They weren't being taken care of. They were just being kept in small cages. You found the device that it used to sort of focus its psychic energy to probe these brains. What specifically are you looking for there? Kind of give an idea.
Sure. He'll be ritually casting detect magic to gather anything of that nature. He's mainly looking for evidence of his connection with the demon and anything that can help us understand the demon situation better. Of course, the looming illithid invasion is troublesome, so he'll look for stuff like that and tend to, and then free the creatures, kind of a thing.
Gotcha. So there's these sort of thin stone sheets. It looks like one of the walls had been chipped away with like perfect precision to create these about 1/4-inch thin notebook paper sized stone sheets that have a weird, just a bizarre scratches on them etched into the stone. You find about a dozen or so of those scattered about the place. Magically, this place is awash in necromantic and illusory magic. You can tell it's the after effects of a powerful extraplanar entity spending time here. So it's entirely possible that the demon Pag was spent time here and lingered. And then let's see, you don't find any brains, but you do find several jars of a clear liquid. alchemists use to preserve organs, things like that.
Okay. He'll gather up anything that seems particularly interesting as he's feeling out the demon's power level and not liking it. And we'll again set the creatures free, or carry them back with them if they need particular tending.
Okay.
But mostly leave with what he can carry. He does have an outfit that lets him carry some stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he'll sort through it a little later. He wants to get back to the others before too long.
Okay. That happens. And Jardon will be back by sunrise. Everybody else, weird dreams.
I believe it was fucked up dreams.
Fucked up illicit dreams. And morning comes, gray and cold. And, just a deep chill permeates the manse, penetrating even the magical warmth that radiates from its stones. So plan is... any idea? Thoughts?
Well, I mean, we need to find out which luminary... We've got to find out our allies. We still don't know 100% which luminaries we can trust.
Yeah.
Right.
That was the whole point to the party, was trying to get everybody in one place to see if a reaction happened to Zelakai being alive.
Right.
Right. So we haven't really necessarily had a chance to kind of recap. Your characters at least haven't had that much of a chance to sort of recap what happened at the party and to connect. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, also part of the party was to try to lure the demon out, which that worked. And we did find out that Aethel was the demon and not Aethel. So we at least know one of the luminaries is probably off the board.
Right.
So, I mean...
Xenophon is confident that Zelakai is, or not Zelakai, but Uther is willing to help. So that accounts for 3 of the 5 of them. Really, it's Isadora and Krotos that seem to be question marks on, are they allies, are they enemies, and what will they do?
And Krotos didn't really have a reaction whenever Zelakai came up on stage.
Right. None of them seems to be surprised. That none of them seemed like they knew that that Zelakai's dead. They just assumed they're all kind of reclusive and insular.
And I don't believe Isadora showed up, did she?
She was she was basically like a projected image. She was there. She acted as if it was a real thing, but it was an elaborate illusion.
Pretty good trick.
Pretty
His illusions,
good.
Joego. His illusions.
It's a glamour, a figment.
Trick is something a whore does for money.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
This is not advertiser friendly.
That's all right.
Oh,
We've crossed
everybody
so
can
many
drop
lines.
F-bombs left and right, but I make a whore joke. We're worried about getting paid. Think about the irony there.
So is it that that
I love you,
Oliver
Pruitt.
wants? So is it just that Oliver wants to like remove those question marks from, from Isadora and Krotos?
Because we have no potion, and so we know that the Athel is the demon, but I mean, dude, he could shape, or he could change shape at any time. For all we know, he could kill Jardon while he's out rummaging through whatever and come back into the manse as Jardon. We have
I put a red X on all our foreheads. So.
Yeah,
Red X.
I get that, but I mean,
Daronia can make another potion. There's enough ingredients to make one more. After that, it will take some time to track down the ingredients to make others.
But he's probably impersonating Athel right now because that's the role he's got to maintain. And if we confront him, we know it's him, right?
That's true.
He's going on with this whole theater thing.
So I
I
think
he's got a play to put on.
right. I think the plan is to go and talk to Uther and present our information to him, get him on board, and then we'll see where he guides us. But we could just go directly confront Athel and have it out.
that's also a reasonable plan.
We could do that
for dying.
Right.
at the the Cerulean Rose or whatever.
The Cerulean Rose.
Yeah.
That's true.
Are y'all
We
ready?
could do that.
I mean, is
So-
that what you guys want to do? Is
I want to go talk to Luthor. Definitely.
if we know that the demon, if we go kill and eliminate the demon, then that might flush out whatever luminary has betrayed the others. And that luminary might have no clue that we know that Athel is a demon.
They know that you know that they know.
Did you know
Okay.
that?
Did you know that? The only thing recall from the scroll that Zelikai left you that the emerald that will trap the demon's essence has to be prepared. Either Curio or Xenophon can do that, but it will take some time to get that.
Well, let's start on that right now.
Yeah,
have it-
she
have
just
it ready
needs to
when-
not stop making those. She needs to make a lot of those.
Yeah.
So you got Dronia making potions, Curio and Xenophon. Curio at least can start preparing the emerald for entrapment.
We will trade her one practically decapitated mind flayer body for as many potions.
Do not give her a fucking.
We're gonna give her nearly headless Nick of mind flayers, okay, and try to get her as many potions as possible.
She looks at it and she's like, I do not want this. It is disgusting. No
No,
bones.
in your
No.
line of work, really?
No.
Now you're all
Spits.
picky.
Even ghosts have standards, Oliver.
Yeah.
Even
knew?
they. Who knew? Exactly. All right. Breakfast is had. The morning chill recedes a bit as the sun comes out and drives away the mist and the cold. And once it's appropriate to venture out, everybody heads to Uther's Manse.
I'm gonna follow Jardon's lead here. If that's what he thinks is the smart play, let's do that. Or if he wants to confront Athel, let's do that.
I think Uther's the first play, and Jardon will slink. He's not leading this social expedition unless you want him to, but he looks kind of weary. But we'll go along. He thinks he needs to.
Okay. It's not that far to Uther's Manse. Like you've been there. Actually, you were there like 2 days ago, or yesterday morning or something. I forget. And true to his word, Xenophon meets you at the entrance and is ushers you in and hurries you past the servitors and other servants throughout the house that try to offer you snacks and drinks to keep you waiting. Up spiral stairs to the observatory that Uther has built. You find him in a sort of a solarium at the top of one of the towers, sort of windows all around, a commanding view of the city. You can see the whole thing, see the marshes to the north of the city, the coast and the docks to the south. Sort of mist hangs over portions of it. And Uther is there sort of putzing around, basically. He's an old dwarf, just white, gray hair, and an elaborately braided white beard that nearly trails the floor. He's got a black staff that he sort of leans heavily on, and he gives Xenophon an annoyed look, just kind of yes. So I hear that you have something to say to me. So, as he plops down into a chair, let's hear it.
Something to say. Uther, my esteemed Uther. Over the last few days, I have, along with my friends here, my compatriots, if you will, been contracted to hunt down a ghost and recover a young lad. Return to find a luminary dead with his brains sucked out of his skull. I've seen my good lifelong friend Robin be possessed by a ghost. We've captured that ghost, put it in a doll, thrown one hell of a party, and been assaulted by a squid-faced man who I then convinced my good barbarian friend here to beat to death in Zelakai's manse.
With a pot.
I think that part was optional.
Yeah.
Yes, we have some things to chat about.
None of that. You mentioned my involvement. What is it that, why come to me for this?
You know, it's funny you say that because there was this, it was, Robin, help me, Jardon. Oh, that's right.
A demon?
You summoned a demon.
He sort of leans back in his chair. Yes, that I did. I regret it.
Oops.
But,
You know, ironically,
but
so
he
do
really is.
I.
He's
I
just kind of
also
like,
regret that.
Regret it, but what are you going to do? You know?
Listen,
happened.
Uther, I understand your place, and forgive me for speaking so candidly, but we are at a place and time that we cannot be afforded pleasantries.
I appreciate your forthrightness and honesty, Oliver. He has a resigned look on his face. Xenophon has explained much. I was hoping that speaking with you would clarify the matter, but this whole thing has gotten way out of hand. He understates. Well,
So, how about we start with this?
yes,
The demon.
the demon. What of it?
Well, what do you plan to do about it now that it is running free in the Street of Spells?
This is the part that Xenophon was not particularly, well, let's just say that his details were not as exhaustive as I'm sure yours will be. As I understand it, the demon has killed our friend Zelakai and masquerading around town. I was afraid of something like this, and hoped to prepare for the eventuality of banishing it, but I do not think that is a possibility. I think that it is here, and we must instead trap it in a more secure prison. Yes, as I understand you correct.
Yeah, I want to. Can we? You know, like I'm knowingly spilling all of this information out, but I'm really trying to get a read here, and I'm hoping everybody else is as well.
Right.
I have no idea if he's just going to attack us.
Gotcha.
Like, so I'm just trying to get a feel for him, and if he, is he telling the truth that he wants to trap this thing and help us, and that he had nothing to do with it being released?
Right. So give me some insight rolls to kind of get a read on what's going on.
I ain't seen shit.
Right. So it looks like Joego and Robin and Oliver. I mean, dwarves are just they are have a reputation of just being unfazable. Kind of, it's difficult to read.
Stonewalling.
You don't get the impression he's about to attack you. You do get the impression that his honest intention is to hear you out and to listen to what you have to say. So at the very least, you're not in any danger. Jardon gets a better understanding of him, and you think that he is the impression that Jardon gets is someone who's remorseful, regretful, but also incredibly proud. And not likely to admit a mistake or appreciate it being rubbed in his face. And he is willing and possibly ready to assist, but wants to make sure that the people he's allied with are have a good plan and have the resolve to execute it. That's what your 22 gets you.
Sweet.
So when I asked him what's he planning on doing about the demon, he just said he just wants to trap it.
Yeah. So Uther replies, I do not think it's possible to banish it. The demon itself is pure magic, and a great many of our spells washed over it as if it were nothing. I don't think that a banishment, particularly not one that I would be capable of conjuring, will do it. A prison more secure than what we had, not connected to us, not siphoning its power for us, not using it in any way, but taking it and securing it as tightly as possible will be enough. It's not perfect, and that we run the risk that it will escape again.
And if we procure such a particular, I don't know, artifact or whatever, a prison, I guess, who would you trust to help us trapping this particular demon? Can all the luminaries be trusted? I mean, I assume one of them let it out.
I think that Isadora can be trusted, but she will be reluctant to act. Her instinct is to hide, to retreat, and should the worst come to it, she will flee the city and find some other place. Krotos could potentially be convinced, assuming that either of them haven't been turned. He is a man of action and a man of decisiveness, and was never 100% on board with our endeavor.
And what about Athel? Is he trustworthy?
As I understand it, Athel is trustworthy, but he eventually had entrusted the demon to him for safekeeping after Zelakai refused to take it, and I think it was a mistake, but you can't take it back.
Yeah, I thought he was filled in on Athel is being impersonated.
I don't think that I didn't fill him in on that part.
I don't think anybody had filled it in, and I don't think Xenophon was there whenever it was.
That's why I'm kind of asking him what his reaction is on if Athel is trustworthy.
At least that's the way I was going off of, Cody. That neither Xenophon nor Uther knew that Athel's been compromised.
Yeah, or possibly dead or buried, and
we should tell them.
So Athel was entrusted with the demon, you say?
Correct. After my argument with Zelakai, and Zelakai's since severing his bonds with us, Athel, somewhat reluctantly, but with confidence, thought that he could secure it, and I knew that the matter wasn't closed, but that for the time being there was no danger, but it appears as though I was wrong.
Yeah, you are wrong, because Athel might be dead now.
What's this? Dead? By the demon's hand?
Well, the demon was masquerading as Athel last night.
Oh, sweet ancestors. He gets up from his chair and hurries over to a table. How do you know this? How did you find this out?
The demon tricked Joego with good dancing.
He's not lying.
Well, we were given a means to be able to detect shapeshifters, and just the reason why we had that little soiree.
I see.
Yesterday evening. And the demon showed up. He was obviously there for information. He didn't make any hostile moves, but he was masquerading as Athel.
He was really smart too. He knew Sir Thomas is really Joego.
Jardon's going to take some, I'm going to put this in quotation marks, molding clay and using druidcraft, shape it to look like the creature that he saw.
That is it. That is what Pagkatama looks like in its true form.
But it's not brown. It is more yellowy.
Yellow and black.
That's
and
what it looks
hateful.
like. That's awful.
Well, that don't look so scary. It's only this big.
Yeah, it's some.
Of course, Joego.
You see Uther at the moment is sort of rummaging around on a table for something, and he's nodded to Xenophon, and Xenophon kind of goes downstairs and disappears for a minute.
You guys see like an epiphany wash over Joe's face as he looks at him. You're a dwarf.
Like looks up at Joego. Yes, I am. Is that a problem?
No, perfect. Dwarves are good at making stuff. Joego need a new pot. Something happened to the old pot.
What was the pot for?
Joego used it to protect his brain.
And the brain from this the other creature that you had described, yes?
Yes.
You ever heard of anything like that as it was described? Tentacles on its face?
I've read Cadrex's heretical works. That's the only place I'd heard of something like that. Was not aware that it had made its way here. Part of the reason we summoned Pag was because it had no contact with mortals before. We thought that it was possible to trick it if it did not know what it was up against. Otherworldly creatures are quite familiar with the mortal races, and it's difficult to deceive them. But somehow Pag had managed to live its eons of existence without ever running across any of the mortal races of this world. And I had assumed that the creature you described was in a similar position.
You know, that is a good reason to summon a demon. Of course you'd want to find out about what it thinks of us and all.
I don't expect you to understand, Oliver. The opportunity to increase our power through harnessing its own was too great to pass up, even if it was a mistake.
Forgive me, Uther. Well, to be very candid with you, I did not sleep well last night.
Yeah, Joego had bad dreams.
Oh, do tell. And he's like, he changes his robe. He's sort of like, looks like he's getting ready to get dressed and go outside. Changes out of his smoking jacket into a nice traveling robe.
What I don't understand, Uther, is where is your sense of responsibility? Where's the urgency? How many people look to you to keep them safe? A balance of power here. And you carry on as if nothing has happened.
Yeah, you're right. He is carrying
not a good
on.
Look.
He sort of like smooths out his coat.
The kitchen right through this door here.
His beard. Yes, Joego, if you care to help yourself to.
I will find my own pot. Thank you.
Thank you. Oliver, he bids you to walk with him back down the tower. In a sense, you are right. We have abrogated our responsibility by summoning this thing. And I have admitted that it is a mistake. But you must understand that this creature, however deadly, however dangerous it is on the loose, is but one threat that the Empire faces. Just one such creature set loose. In my time as a court abjurer, I faced down crones and demons and terrors in the night, and while this is powerful and we should be concerned, it is not the first time something like this has made manifest in the world that someone has had to dispose of it.
Well, then let the record show that I am pleased with my current position, not being a part of the court's defenses.
Understood. It is quite a different world that we run in. And by way of background, that is Uther's. Before he retired, he's basically like he was an imperial abjurer responsible for keeping track of and defending against these kind of things. So his perspective on it is probably a little different. What's that?
Yes, I got it. I'm with you.
Gotcha. So he's basically getting ready to go outside and walk the streets.
I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave with him solo. I don't want to be even too far away. I don't even want to like round a corner without like Robin and Jardon and all them.
Gotcha.
It's like no.
You're still paranoid.
Dude, am I still paranoid? Yes.
Hey, Jim.
Yeah.
What happened to the doll the ghost was inhabiting?
I don't know. If I recall,
Can I have found it at the manse?
sure. Yeah, I think that's where your Daronia transferred from the doll into the inheritor, if I'm correct. So the doll
Yeah.
would still would have been back at Zelikai's.
Okay, so Joego tucked it into his shirt before he left this morning,
Right.
and I was thinking he will not sleep without it.
Gotcha. I like it.
Ghost doll, Way of the Samurai.
Luthor, I will of course assist you. It's been quite some time since I've done battle, but I think even in my old age, I will put up quite a fight. I am willing to make amends for this wrong, and Oliver, you are right. There is a danger to this our home, and we should act with decisiveness and speed. He has the air of someone who's tired, but at the same time resolute once he sets on a course of action. I think that it might be worthwhile to pay a visit to Athel's manse. Perhaps not his theater yet, if what you say is true, but I know that of late he hasn't resided at his manse. He spent most of his time at the theater, so perhaps there are clues we could find at his home.
Uther, I would beg just a moment to speak to my companions. As you can imagine, we have been through quite the ordeal, and I just would like a word with them before we set about arranging plans with you.
Of course.
I'm going to step over to Jardon and Robin and ask them if we need, like, so basically, should we ask him about which of the luminaries should be trusted, and do you trust him? Should we tell him about Zelikai's notes?
Well, I mean, we kind of did ask him about the luminaries and who he trusts.
I understand that, but that was before he knew that Athel had
Exactly.
perished. And
Exactly.
we did not tell him about the note left to us by Zelikai?
No, I don't think we need to reveal all of our cards just yet. But I don't know.
If
I
he's an
trust him.
ally, I would hate to have him go to Isadora to be betrayed. But if he is not an ally, we might not leave this manse.
I see him as an ally. I trust him. I don't know.
Yes, I get the same sense, but we should be concerned about confronting Athel before we are ready. If he is able to flee, jump bodies, and we have no potion, we battle but have no crystal to bind him, it will be all for naught. We should not be hasty, perhaps. Very secret investigation of his manse or the others.
No, I agree, Jardon. I do. I think that his idea to go to Athel's manse and see what we can glean, I think it's a good course of action.
I love the paranoia, by the way.
We will let him recruit Isadora without being aware of her alliance? If you trust him to do this. Or perhaps we should warn him.
Well, I mean, we can warn him. I don't see why not.
So that's basically it. So basically, Oliver wants to know, you know, Zelikai was talking about somebody has betrayed them.
Yeah.
And if we trust Uther, and Athel's dead, and Uther's going to go recruit Krotos or Isadora, maybe one of them are the luminaries that betrayed him. So do we trust Uther enough to let him go do that just blindly?
Well, here's the thing, though. Athel may not be dead. We just
I
saw
understand. We're assuming he's dead.
Well, I mean, he might be the one that betrayed. I mean, he had the demon
Sure.
already. The
All-
simplest. The
It could have
simplest
been. It
course.
could have been all three. It could have been Krotos, Isadora, and Athel.
Yeah.
We don't know. So, are you going to trust Uther to either with this information that this demon's running free, not necessarily because it overpowered Athel, but because Zelachai said it, like one of the luminaries betrayed him, or are we just going to let him hang?
I think we should split the party 3 different ways, and each of us
Scooby-Doo it.
one of these
Yeah,
different
right.
mansions.
I
Me
think
and
that's
Xenophon will go check out
perfect
Athel's
idea.
place. Cody, you and no,
You
Bottom
and
line
Uther.
is,
I think-
we have no clue if Isadora betrayed Zelachai and will betray Uther if we send Uther over there. We don't have a damn clue.
Other than the fact that Uther is of all the luminaries the most powerful,
True.
and probably could hold his own. You don't have any guarantees of that.
Krotos could be hanging out with Isadora and they could jump him. We have no
That's
clue.
true. They could overpower him. Yeah. No, you don't.
So what do you
But
guys
the-
want to do? Do y'all want to tell him that Zelachai said somebody betrayed him?
I trust.
I'm okay
He's
with
got
telling
really
him
good
that.
odds.
With telling him that Zelachai told us one of the luminaries betrayed them, at least.
Yes, I feel comfortable with it. Don't know about the rest of the party.
What about you, Jardon?
Well, what is the ultimate goal? I think our immediate
Is to
goal is
protect Uther, right?
to bind the demon, to stop that. That's kind of the big goal. And discovering who is behind the betrayal is important too. So we can either kind of double prong the goal that way, or just focus on let's deal with this demon, and then maybe the betrayal.
I don't think we can
dealt
deal with
with
the
other
demon until we have enough power to do that. And if Uther is one of the people that is going to help us capture the demon, and Isadora could be an ally or an enemy, we don't know. We've got to suss that out. The worst thing is we could confront the demon with Uther and then totally get, side waylaid by Isadora and or Krotos. That would be immediate
Athel.
death for all of us if we don't know who they're playing for.
I mean, those are the risks right now. I think you've done a really good job of Oliver's done a really good job of like outlining the precarious situation that you're in.
Yeah, which is why. Yeah, that's why
So-
I think we
so
should tell Uther of Zalakai's.
That's the question. Do you trust
Suspicions.
Uther enough to tell him about Zelachai's suspicions?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do.
All right. So we've got Robin and Jardon saying that they trust Uther. I think Joego, you'd said as well. Joego trusts Uther. I like the impact of Oliver's paranoia on his thinking. The enemy that you face is deceptive, could be anyone, and could have any number of allies. So you are having to proceed without perfect information to execute your plan.
I just thought of another way to glean information. If the Mind Flayer, the Seeker, had any memory of interacting with any of the luminaries,
Recently.
can we
Gotcha.
dig into that?
That's
Yes,
awesome.
absolutely. So Jardon, in that case, if you're looking for recent information, the base difficulty of that is going to be 10. So it's another DC 10 intelligence check.
10.
Damn it.
You search your implanted memories, fuzzy at the edges. As far as you're able to recall, the only contact with another luminary that the Seeker had was with Athel. When the demon Pog first approached the Seeker, he approached them as Athel and maintained that deception for quite some time before revealing its true self. The Seeker knew about the other luminaries and was anxious to probe their minds, but was too cautious to make a move against them at any, with fear of spooking them. The first one that they did was Zelachai, as far as you're able to recall.
So does he have memory of eating Athel's brain, like killing him?
He has. So you're trying to the seeker. Does the seeker have a memory of it? The seeker has no memory of the only interactions he had with Athel were of Pag as Athel.
So Athel could still be alive.
Right.
Yep. Okay.
Uther, we have one more bit of information that we believe we would like to share with you.
Uh-huh.
That is a letter passed on to us from Nerdarchy.
Mm-hmm.
His journal. He had mentioned in there that he believes one of the luminaries, or possibly more than one, had betrayed the others. And I want to kind of read his face and his reaction.
Mm-hmm. I think that it's entirely possible that this betrayal Nerdarchy is warning you of is the demon's doing. If I don't know what happened after the demon came into Athel's possession, but it's entirely possible that the demon has been masquerading as Athel for far longer than we suspect, and that his betrayal is entirely this fiend's fault.
I figured it was only fair to warn you, should you approach Isidore and Krotos, to seek their aid in helping us all capture this demon.
I think
we
it's
would
wise
hate for you to walk in there blind without this last bit of information.
I think it's wise to use caution, and I certainly wouldn't approach them alone. But you're right to be paranoid, but we must act swiftly. With that, Uther's ready to take a stroll in the morning streets. Xenophon is there. They're both dressed in warm clothing, stout stabs in hand, and are basically like, we're ready when you are.
But are they out of bubble gum?
They don't have any more bubble gum, unfortunately.
Well, shit.
There you go. There you go.
How long until our crystal will be ready?
I mean, Curio's been working on it as much as he can these last couple of days, since it was clear that he needed to prepare the prison for the demon's essence. The last time you talked to Curio, he thinks it's going to be at least another day before it's fully attuned and ready to serve as a prison.
So Jardon will again kind of bring up what is served by confronting Athel before we can deal with him.
And you're talking about like why go to his house right now, or going to the Rose?
Why go to his house? Why confront him? Why let him know that we know anything?
Well, we don't want to confront him. We were just hoping to go to his house to see if we could glean anything while he was at the Cerulean Rose.
Oh, so we're going to break into his house.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah. As far as anyone has been able to determine, Athel hasn't lived at his manse for some time, that he's been bound up in his play, working on it at the Cerulean Rose. And so, no one comes and goes from Athel's manse. He doesn't host his parties there that he's famous for. So that's why Uther has suggested visiting it to see what you can see. To clear things up.
Well, is Uther in the position to B&E? We've got a professional B&Er and other people who can help.
Oh yeah, he's totally going to let you guys get your hands dirty. But he is on hand in case something horrible does happen, and he wants to see the place for himself once it's been cracked open.
Mm.
Yeah.
He
assumes that
if y'all can take care of the magical defenses, I can handle the mundane.
Okay. So as you prepare yourself to break into the home of an illusionist who is possessed by a demon, Um,
Wait a minute. I think that we just were duped.
Sounds much worse when you put it that way.
That is the DM equivalent of, are you sure that's what you want to do?
I think this is a good idea.
And potentially some more answers. You guys are closing in on your quarry, hopefully finding some more, although clearly Oliver's this whole experience has been scarring and damaging to his confidence and his ability to trust others. I hope that Oliver's able to recover from this.
He's about to go through an emo
won't.
period.
Right. You quickly make your way through the streets, the six of you, and you find yourself in front of Athel's ostentatious and quite gaudy manse. And we will have to figure out next week exactly how our heroes are going to crack into this. But I would like to take some time, because you guys did level up, to sort of discuss what you guys are going to do at that level. Anybody thinking of multi-classing, or you're just going to stick with the class that you're in now? And, if there's an option for it, like, what your new capabilities are.
Okay. Do you want to do that right now?
I think, yeah, we'll sort of drop out of the campaign and just kind of have a metagame chat about your characters.
So here's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and we'll wrap up the game for the YouTube, and we'll go ahead and take like a quick 2-minute break. Okay. And then if you guys are hanging out with us on stream, you want to just hang out with us. We're gonna take a quick break. And then we'll come back and chat and just hang out with you guys, maybe take some questions or whatnot. And maybe people will stick around and maybe they'll leave. We'll go for a few minutes. So we want to say a huge thank you to all of our sponsors. ThinkGeek for presenting the show here and sponsoring us here for the first season. Of course, Fantasy Grounds is our virtual tabletop of choice. And then all of the kick-ass maps that you guys see on streams are done by Dungeon Painter Studio by pyromancers.com. And do not forget to enter into our giveaway. So we're going to run our Fantasy Grounds giveaway. It's live right now. You can check that out. I'll post a link a couple more times, and then I'll put it in the description for the YouTube video. They're giving away 3 ultimate licenses with the Dungeons & Dragons 5e player handbook attached to that, so you guys can create characters and run games and do all of those things. And if you guys don't know how the ultimate license works for Fantasy Grounds, just the DM needs the ultimate license. Nobody else needs to have anything else. You guys can download the free version of Fantasy Grounds and log into any Dungeon Masters game with an ultimate license. So this is a way for you guys to game 5e on Fantasy Grounds indefinitely. We're giving away 3 of these keys thanks to Fantasy Grounds for putting that together. So be sure to check out that giveaway in the box below. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to take a quick break. And we will be right back to chat on stream and take some questions and level up characters and do all those things. So thanks for hanging out with us. And we will catch you guys next week if you're watching on YouTube. We'll be right back.